Hello, I am Argami Isales, and together with my co-tourist guides, Emmy Bandoy, Celeste Bising, Maria Lourdes Collis, and Cristel Ventique, we will bring you to China, and we will introduce its religion and philosophy. First, let me give you an overview of the three topics on the religion and philosophy of China that we will be discussing along our trip. Confucianism, Taoism, and Buddhism are considered the pillars of Asian Chinese society. We all know that religion and philosophy influence spirituality, but here with these three, it is not just spirituality, because it also contributes and presents government, science, the arts, and social structure. These three really differ from each other and hold distinct concepts and beliefs. But instead of starting arguments and judgments, these three have helped and blended with each other to influence society. Moreover, the unique interplay between these three traditions provide great understanding of Asian Chinese society, and also in modern times. Now, let us start our learning adventure in Confucianism. Confucianism is a philosophy and belief system from ancient China which focuses on the importance of personal ethics and morality. Confucianism became the dominant political philosophy during the Han Dynasty from 206 BCE to 220 CE. Confucian teachings were conservative and told people to maintain their role in social order. The philosophy was used by the state to keep the status quo from that time forward. The founder of Confucianism, named Confucius, was a philosopher and a teacher. He lived from 551 to 479 BCE. Confucianism is long debated whether it is a religion or a philosophy. To somehow solve, it is closer to a philosophy rather than a religion. It is because Confucianism is best described as an ethical guide for the people to living with strong character. Yet, there are temples established of which Confucius was worshipped, but not as a god totally, instead a spirit. That makes most of the people argue whether it is a religion or it is a philosophy. For enlightenment, the main idea of Confucianism is the importance of having a good moral character, which is believed contagious to affect everything around a person with good moral character through the concept of cosmic harmony. This moral character is achieved through the virtue of Ren, or humanity, which leads to more virtuous behaviors such as respect, altruism, and humility. Another thing is that Confucius believed in the importance of education in order to create this virtuous character, meaning to say, education affects our character, and it is a best environment for us to learn, not just academically, but also in life. Moreover, his teachings gave guidance on all levels of Asian Chinese life, from interactions between family members and in public sphere, to educational standards and how states should be governed. Furthermore, religious rituals teach about gods and mystique. Confucius did not focus on those spiritual concerns like the afterlife, gods and goddesses, or mysticism. This is one of the reasons why Confucianism is considered as a philosophy rather than a religion. Though there are still rituals in Confucianism, but not like other rituals from other traditions, because these rituals of Confucianism were designed to bring about this respectful attitude and create a sense of community within a group. In concern with bringing about a respectful attitude, Confucius believed that people are essentially good, yet may have strayed from the appropriate forms of conduct. Another is that family was the most important group for Confucian ethics, and devotion to family could only strengthen the society surrounding it. Therefore, the key to Confucianism from Confucius thought is the idea of filial piety, or the devotion to family, because he believed simply that this small unit of group in the society can strengthen and affects other more units or groups in the society, such as school, community, and government, to practice and perform right conduct and good moral character. Meaning to say, it really all starts with a small unit of the society, or what we call family. All in all, Confucianism remains one of the most influential philosophies in China, together with Taoism and Buddhism. Confucianism is really a great ethical guide to living a peaceful, meaningful, and virtuous life. And this is applicable to all, not just for the Chinese people. To end this, and before we proceed to the next topic, I would like to leave you this quote that we've been hearing since then. It is the golden rule of Confucianism by Confucius. Do not do unto others what you would not want others to do unto you.
Moving on to the religion of Taoism. Taoism, also known as Tauwissim, is an ancient tradition of philosophy and religious belief that is deeply rooted in Chinese customs and worldview that originated in China 2,000 years ago in the time of Han Dynasty. Before the Communist Revolution 50 years ago, Taoism was one of the strongest religions in China. But after the campaign to destroy non-communist religion, the number of Taoists significantly reduced. Taoism is about the Tao. This is usually translated as the way, but it is hard to say exactly what this means. The Tao is the ultimate creative principle of the universe. All things are unified and connected in the Tao, and Tao cannot be described in words, and human language can only give hints that may help the mind to form an idea about the Tao. Unlike Abrahamic religion, there is no omnipotent God in the cosmos in Taoism. Taoism does not include many deities, and although Taoism have gods, most of them are borrowed from other cultures. These deities are within this universe and are themselves subjected to the Tao. The Tao includes several concepts in one word: the source of creation, the ultimate, the inexpressible and indefinable, the unnameable, the natural universe as a whole, and the way of nature as a whole. Concepts within Taoism. The One. The One is the essence of Tao, the essential energy of life, the possession of which enables things and beings to be truly themselves and in accord with the Tao. Taoist texts sometimes refer to the Tao as the Mother and the One as the Son. Wu and You. Wu and You are non-being and being, or not having and having. Wu also implies inaccessibility or limitlessness. Some writers suggest that Wu can be directly experienced by human beings. Tai is usually translated as virtue. It is an awareness of the Tao together with the capabilities that enables a person to follow the Tao. The concept of Wu Wei. The method of following the Tao is called Wu Wei. This can be translated as uncontrived action or natural non-intervention. Wu Wei means living by or going along with the true nature of the world, or at least without obstructing the Tao, letting things take their natural course so Taoists live off balance and harmonious life. Yin Yang is the principle of natural and complementary forces, patterns, and things that depend on one another and do not make sense on their own. These may be masculine and feminine, but they can be darkness and light. They can be wet and dry, or action and inaction. The concept of chi or ki is the cosmic vital energy that enables beings to survive and links them to the universe as a whole. Immortality. Immortality doesn't mean living forever in the presence of physical body. The idea is that as the Taoists draw closer and closer to nature throughout their life, that is just a final step in achieving complete unity with the universe. Taoist ethics, theory and practice. Taoist ethics are concerned less with doing good acts than becoming a good person who lives in harmony with all things and people. Taoist ethics are inseparable from Taoist spirituality. They both contain the same idea. If a Taoist want to live well, they should take all their decisions in the context of Tao, trying to see what will fit best with the natural order of things. Taoists thus always do what is required by event and their context, but they only do what is required, no more, no less. In practice, Taoism recommends the same sort of moral behavior to its followers as other religions. It disapproves of killing, stealing, lying, and promiscuity, and promotes altruistic, helpful, and kind behavior. Taoist believes that good behavior is an essential part not only in self improvement, but of improving the whole world as a whole.
Good day everyone, my name is Celeste Bising and I'm going to discuss the people or leading figures in Taoism, their rites and rituals, its subdivisions, and lastly the texts or key books in Taoism. First is the leading figures of Taoism. First is Lao Tzu. He was the first philosopher of Taoism in the 5th century and is accredited to the Tao Te Ching, although modern scholars claim that it had more than one author. There are many legends about his life, but there is hardly concrete information. He was a scholar and a caretaker of sacred books at the royal court of the Zhou dynasty. He is respected by Confucianists as a philosopher, the people of China as a god, and Taoists as representative of the Tao. Next is Chuang Tzu. Though he was not a political as Lao Tzu, he is still respected for his brilliant, satirical stories also known as the Chuang Tzu. He emphasizes the relevance of all ideas that are the basis of judgment and distinctions. He tries to solve all the problems in identification with the universal Tao. The rites and rituals of Taoism. First, we have the order and harmony. At the heart of Taoist ritual is the concept of bringing order and harmony to many layers of the cosmos. The cosmos as a whole, the world of nature, the world or human society, and the inner world of human individuals. Taoist rituals involve purification, meditation, and offerings to the deities. The details of Taoist rituals are often highly complex and technical, and therefore left to the priest, with the congregation playing little part. The rituals involve the priest and assistants in chanting and playing instruments, particularly wind and percussion, and also dancing. One major Taoist ritual is the Chow, a rite of cosmic renewal which is itself made up of several rituals. So next, in the rite and rituals of Taoism is the temple rituals. Temple rituals can be used to regulate qi and balance the flow of yin and yang, both for individuals and the wider community. Other rituals involve prayers to various Taoist deities, meditations on talismans, and reciting and chanting prayers and texts. Is the subdivisions of Taoism. Modern Taoism falls into main categories, which are Southern Taoism, popular in Taiwan and South China, and Northern Taoism, a tradition largely unknown to Westerners but widely practiced among modern Taoists in the Chinese mainland. First subdivision is the Southern Taoism. Southern Taoism is an offshoot of Cheng-yi Taoism, the only liturgical tradition surviving today. The modern Cheng-yi tradition dates back to the 11th century. Its priests still perform liturgies like the Chow, believed to harmonize the local community with the cosmos. They also perform healing rituals and exorcisms in public. But these activities are frowned upon by Northern Taoists. Next subdivision is the Northern Taoism. Northern Taoism grew out of the Chuan Chen tradition. It was founded in the 12th century by Wang Chu Yang. It emphasizes moral and spiritual discipline and also continuous self-preservation practices that date back to the classical Yi. Its headquarters are at White Cloud Abbey in Beijing. There are other Taoist groups, but none of them is believed to exist on its original form. Key texts or key books in Taoism. First, we have the Tao Te Ching. The key book of Taoism was compiled around the 3rd century BCE. It's called the Tao Te Ching or Dao De Ching or Dao De Ching, the way and its power, and is also known as the Lao Chu. This short book of around 5,000 Chinese characters is divided into 81 brief chapters filled with short, enigmatic paragraphs of advice on life and poetic descriptions of the nature of the universe. Taoists regard the Tao Te Ching as the essential guide to living a full spiritual and ethical life. No one person wrote the Tao Te Ching, although elementary textbooks usually say it was written by Lao Tzu or Lao Chi. This is untrue. The book is probably a collection of the proverbs and sayings of many anonymous people over a long period of time. The earliest Western version of the Tao Te Ching was a Latin translation made by the Jesuits in the late 18th century. The next book is the Chuang Tzu. Another important book is the Chuang Tzu. Although this was published after the Tao Te Ching, its compilation began earlier. Like the Tao Te Ching, although it is attributed to man named Chuang Tzu or Chuang Chi, it is a collection of the wisdom of many different people. The thinking that led to the Tao Te Ching was probably influenced by an older book called the Ne Ye. This includes early writings on some key Taoist ideas, particularly Qi, although some of the ideas differ from their latest Taoist form. And that would be all for my report. Thank you.
Good day everyone, my name is Emmy G. Bandoy. So now let's proceed to Buddhism. So first, let us know what is Buddhism. So Buddhism is one of the world's major religion. It was originated in India in 563 to 483 BCE with Siddhartha Gautama, and over the next millennia, it spread across the Asia and the rest of the world. Buddhists believe that the human life is a cycle of suffering and rebirth, but if one achieves a state of enlightenment called nirvana, it is possible to escape this cycle forever. Siddhartha Gautama was the first person to reach the state of enlightenment and is still today known as Buddha. Now let's proceed to the beliefs of Buddhism. So first is the followers of Buddhism don't acknowledge a supreme God or deity. They instead focus on achieving enlightenment or a state of inner peace and wisdom. When followers reach this spiritual echelon, they said to have experienced nirvana. Next is the religion's founder, Buddha, is considered as an extraordinary being but not God. The word Buddha means enlightenment. The path of enlightenment is attained by utilizing morality, meditation, and wisdom. Buddhists often meditate because they believe it helps to awaken truth. Next is Buddha's most important teaching is known as the Four Noble Truths, are essential to understand the religion. Buddhists embrace the concept of karma, the law of cause and effect, and reincarnation, the continuous cycle of birth. Followers of Buddhism can worship in temples or in their own homes. Buddhist monks or bhikkhus follow a strict code of conduct which includes celibacy. Now let's talk about the founder of Buddhism. Buddhism is a faith that was founded by Siddhartha Gautama or Buddha more than 2,500 years ago in India. With about 470 million followers, scholars considered Buddhism as one of the major world religions. Its practice has historically been most prominent in East and Southeast Asia, but its influence is growing in the West. Many Buddhist ideas and philosophy overlap with those or other faiths. When Gautama passed away around 483 BCE, his followers began to organize a religious movement. Buddha's teaching became the foundation for what would develop into Buddhism. In the 3rd century BC, Ashoka the Great, the Mauryan Indian emperor, made Buddhism the state religion of India. Buddhist monasteries were built and missionary work was encouraged. Over the next few centuries, Buddhism began to spread beyond India. The thoughts and philosophy of Buddhism become diverse, with some followers interpreting ideas differently than others. So let's now proceed to the types of Buddhism. So first is Theravada Buddhism that is prevalent in Thailand, Sri Lanka, Cambodia, Laos, and Burma. Second is Mahayana Buddhism that is prevalent in China, Japan, Taiwan, Korea, Singapore, and Vietnam. And third is the Tibetan Buddhism that is prevalent in Tibet, Nepal, Mongolia, Bhutan, and parts of Russia and northern India. Buddha's teachings are known as Dharma. He thought that wisdom, kindness, patience, generosity, and compassion were important virtues. So specifically, all Buddhists live by 5 moral precepts which prohibits first, killing living things, second, taking what is not given, third, sexual misconduct, fourth, lying, and last but not the least, using drugs or alcohol.
Good day everyone, my name is Crystal Ventic from PCED-02-401A and I will going to continue the Buddhism topic, and here the first topic in the Fourth Noble of Truth. The Fourth Noble of Truth, which is Dukkha, told the truth of suffering, which is also known as a dukkha. And for the second novel of truth, the truth of the cause of suffering, by also known as samudaya. And the third, the truth of the end of suffering, or nirvudha. And for the fourth, the truth of the path that frees of us from suffering, or also known as the manga. The fourth novel of truth, its teaching begin with the analysis of the concept of pain that we all experience at the sources of it, and also due to our desire, and in order to feel safe and secure, We gain experience and object that create pleasant emotion. We avoid anything that causes us pain and try manipulate situation and people around to achieve what we want. Or in the reality, the rest of the unstable world seldom matches what we want, and thus we are often hurt and frustrated. And for the second is the eightfold path. The first is right understanding, also known as Ditthi, or the second is the right thought, or the Sama Sankapa, and right speech, or Sama Vaka, and fourth is the right action, Sama Kamanta, and the right livelihood, or Sama Ajeva, right effort, Sama Vayama, and for the seven is right mindfulness, or Samasati, and the last is right concentration, or the Samadhi. For the eighth fold pain, this is the also known as the threefold way, as also contain the three basic aspect of Buddhist life, which is also known the first is the ethics, medication, and the wisdom. Each part of the novel eightfold path fall in the these three elements, or three basic elements. And for the Buddhist holy book, this is a Tipitaka. This text known as a tree basket are thought to be the earliest collection of Buddhist writing. And for the second is the Sutras. These are more than 2,000 sutras, which also sacred teaching embraced mainly by Yamahana Buddhists. And for the last Buddhism holy book is the Book of the Dead. This Tibetan text describe the stages of the death and the details. And the Thai Lama is a leading monk and Tibetan Buddhism, and followers of the religion believe the Thai Lama is a reincarnation of the past Lama that has agreed to be born again to help humanity. This has been 14 Dalai Lamas throughout history, and the Thai Lama also governed Tibet until the Chinese took control in 1959. This current Dalai Lama Tutdap has born in 1935. And for the last is the Buddhist holiday. Every year, Buddhists celebrate the Bisak, or a festival that commemorates the Buddha's birth, enlightenment, and the death. During each quarter of the moon, followers of the Buddhism participate in the certain called Oposata. These observant allow Buddhism to renew their commitment to their teaching, and also this also celebrate the Buddhist New Year and participate the several other yearly festival. And that's all for the topic of Buddhism. That's all. Thank you.